Hello. Please tell me if you can hear me. Is the sound alright? Can you hear the game? Oh yeah, cool, thank you. I don't have a lot of time because I'll have to go to bed soon, but I figured I would just spend some time. And you know, if you want to ask any question or talk about whatever, I was not sure really what to play, so I just picked something I'm familiar with. What else? Whoops. Engage asks, cool, I'm curious, are you working on any new games? So basically the situation now is I have a full-time job. Well, it's always been like that for most of the late years, but basically, well, I have a daughter, and I spend a lot of time with the family. And so when the work is over, either I spend time with my family, or I draw, or I work on implementing enemies, fixing bugs on an eventual sequel or follow-up game to Mega Man Unlimited. That's basically it. Right now what I'm doing, well, not now because now I'm playing, but these days what I'm doing is I'm implementing Grapnel Man's weapon in Mega Man Unlimited, which is 2, which I'm not sure if that's going to be the title, but essentially we've got I've got 7 stages done, complete with the boss and weapons, except the last one of the 7, which I'm still working on the weapon. It's still not doing everything I wanted to, and since I'm not really a professional programmer, it's taking some time for me to implement everything. So basically the weapon is kind of like a grappling hook. It can freeze enemies, and right now it does that, and it does some damage, freezes some enemies. The next thing, well, right now I'm working on debugging that, and debugging means it's not doing what I want it to, and I have to fix it and look if it's working with every enemy, if it's doing what it's supposed to do on every type of enemy. So yeah, I'm working on that now. After I'm done with these, with the reactions on the enemies, I have something I want the weapon to do with when it's hitting the background, like walls and stuff, walls and ceilings, but I haven't done that yet, so I still have to implement that, which is probably gonna be just as difficult for me. But yeah, and after I'm done with that weapon, I'll have to animate the weapon demonstration when you get the weapon, like the little cutscene. And after that, it's gonna be the next stage, which is the 8th one, and it's gonna be Triple Man, and nothing's done for that stage yet, so I want to finish Grapnel Man stuff before I get working on the last one. Well, the 8th one. So yeah, but you know, sometimes I don't feel like programming, so I draw or I do something else. Last 2 weeks, so I've spent a lot of time outdoors and stuff. Oh, I forgot that he bounces off the wall. Hi, Matt. It's gonna be a short stream because it's already 11 p.m. here. And I'm in the dark at home playing Mega Man 6. And every time the lightning strikes when the boss drops down, the whole room flashes white. Take that. Hello, Mito Saito, Marco, Valor. Which Mega Man game is my favorite? If we only talk about the classic one, the official ones, man, Mega Man 4 or 11. I'm always debating between the two. Which boss should I take? Should I pick? Pick any one of them. Yeah, you can slide underneath the Tomahawk Man's feathers, and you can just stand outside of the range of his tomahawk, and you're fine. Night, wind. Okay, the first one said night. Engage. The next one will be wind. I can't really say anything about fan games because I don't play a lot of fan games. I know that sounds odd, maybe, but yeah, I don't play too many fan games. I played Rock Force, I played Revolution, I played a bit of Super Fighting Robot. I've played Mega Man Maker. I've played Mega Man Rock and Roll, but I haven't finished it. I know it's kind of a sacrilege. I should have played it fully, but I haven't yet. I beat some of the Robot Masters, but not all of them. I don't really have an excuse. From what I've played with was pretty good. You know, I'm more of the type to be the dungeon master than the player. You know, tabletop role-playing games, I would always be the master and not the player. I enjoy more like creating worlds and stories for people to. I like the reaction of people to the content I provide. I mean, I enjoy playing, but I enjoy playing video games, but as far as content that's not really official, I'm not super well compared to most people. I'm really knowledgeable, but I haven't fully played. Like I don't know everything about all the hacks and all the fan games. Well, I still know more than most people, but not as much as the more hardcore community. Like whenever we would play role-playing games when I was younger, I was never really interested in being one of the players. Like some of my friends would host a game and I would just not be interested. I would always want to be like the game master instead. I enjoyed creating character designs for every character the players would encounter. I made with Jean Simon, actually we made the Mega Man role-playing game with the character sheets and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Jeez. Knight Man. The Walk of Doom. Voyons. Ah. It didn't shoot. And about jeez, what are you doing? Yeah, Engage, you're right. It's the same for me. I like dancing, but I do like random stuff when I dance and nobody understands. But I do enjoy being the DJ. Well, not that I'm the greatest DJ, but I enjoy putting music for people to listen to. And maybe my controller is not the best one. Like I try to do these fancy maneuvers, but oh, yeah, I was gonna say earlier, Mega Man Unlimited 2. I'm gonna use that title as a placeholder for now. I'm not sure how I'm gonna call it. But basically, the inspiration for the Robot Masters is more in the vein of Mega Man 6. And by that I mean designs that feel more like unconventional. Like usually you have Cutman, Fireman, Iceman, you know, the elements and really obvious stuff. But for that game I'm trying to go more with the, you know, stuff like Yamato Man or Centaur Man, things that are a little more out there, because I really like the designs in Mega Man 6. When you would do when we would do the tabletop RPG Mega Man, we would play more in the Mega Man X universe. We could have like more complex stories with more with darker stuff. You know, you have characters die and more emotional stories and stuff like that. So the robot masters are. So I've got one. It's called Dragon Man. So it's more in the vein of Centaur Man. More like a mystical type robot master. He's inspired by the dragon dance, Chinese dragon dance. I also got Wushu Man, which is a martial arts type robot master. Could maybe related to Yamato Man in some sense, because he's using weapons like a spear, sword, maces. We've got Steam Man, Mantis Man, Spike Man, Triple Man, which is not implemented yet, but it's gonna be more like a Gemini Man type of deal. What other one is there? Oh, Warp Man. Warp in the sense of teleportation. He's gonna be pretty much the quick man of the game. He's the one with the harder stage and difficult fight. Yeah, you're right. Engaged in Mega Man 6, they were supposed to represent different places in the world. But I really like that the robot masters are not the usual fire ice deal, you know, and that they're more varied. Now their weapons in 6 are a little uninspired in my opinion. The weapons. Oh, and also these pandas make a return in my game. Man, I keep pressing R1 and it does the... I have the reflex of switching weapon like in my game, but I can't. But my number is fluffy. To answer your question, it's no, the project is not on hold. It's just slow because basically I'm the only one working on it, and I work on it whenever I have the time and feel like it. So sometimes I won't feel like coding for a long while, and also my mood depends on how well my stuff is going. If there's a lot of bugs that I don't know how to fix, I just won't feel like doing it. We get W Storm. Which boss should I go face now? Plant Man. In my game, there's a robot master kind of similar to Plantman in terms of his stage. It's Mantis Man. He's a mantis, and he's in a forest like this. Well, similar to this. And it was an idea by Ultima Mantoid, who really loves mantises. So I got the idea of a design for Mantis Man. Oh, he didn't drop off the ledge. Oh, and also Eddie returns to his origins. He shows up inside in the stages instead of being called. Brazil. Brazil. So you must be wondering why I don't show much of the game. Well, it's because I don't want to... Well, the first reason is because I want to keep stuff a surprise. And the other reason is that I don't want to raise people's expectation like before I actually know that I'm gonna be able to finish. Because since I'm doing it mostly by myself, and I'm no programmer, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do everything. I mean, Gabriel has told me he'll be able to help, but I'm probably gonna ask for his help only near the end to do the stuff that I can't do. Like right now, we're not supporting X input controllers, and I don't know how we can do that. So maybe I'll need some help for that, and maybe some bugs and crashes that I can't fix. Because it's always really scary for me when there's a bug I have no idea how to fix. But so far I've been able to get by. Well, Mido Saito, sometimes I will show some parts of it just for people that are curious, but I don't want to reveal everything. Mega John says, I hope Mega Man Unlimited 2 has the same difficulty as the first one. It's not gonna be as hard. Well, I tried not to make it too hard like the first one, and I tried to make the stages still a bit long, but not too long. Just like maybe a little more balanced, and every stage is made to have an alternate path of some kind, so you can play all of the stages in different ways if you want. Also, since I have alternate path, I plan to have some special collectibles to find in those paths, like we did with the first one with the Yoku letters. But it's gonna be something else, of course. Another thing is that the game, I want to have a special mechanic like Mega Man 11. Engage asks, what have you been using to program the games? It's well, it's Visual Studio, C++ and Visual Studio. Engage says, I hope Mega Man Unlimited 2 will have some secrets like Yokuman. I plan to. It's not in the game yet, but I plan to. Oh, so yeah, the special mechanic that I was referring to, you know, in Mega Man 11 where we have the speed gear and power gears. It's something similar. It's some mechanic that you can use all through the game. It's a little system Mega Man has on him that allows you to play the game a bit differently than usual. I mean, you still have rush, you still have weapons and stuff, but you also have the overdrive system that essentially allows you to build up an energy reserve to use in the case of trouble when you are when you really need a little boost of firepower. So some extra collectibles and secrets might be in the alternate paths and might include some upgrades to the system. I haven't really determined yet what they're gonna be, but the overdrive system is in the game and it's working pretty good so far. Other stuff we have is that, well, Eddie, like I said, will pop up in the stages to give you an item, like in Mega Man 4 and this one. And also, I plan to remove the shop and the bolts, and instead have more items to collect, like beat whistles. Like Beat will come rescue you if you fall down a pit, but instead of buying them, you just collect them in the stages. Same with whatever the overdrive system uses. Queen Monica asks if we would have a bonus level where we can play and fight when we can fight Hammerman and earn his weapon as a bonus. I don't plan to have that. Basically, our game doesn't use Unity or Unreal or any of these engines. It's all made from scratch by Gabriel originally, and I've just been building on top of it and actually learning programming at my job and by adding some stuff to the game. So even though I didn't really learn C++ in school, I can still do it by copy pasting and been getting by. Well, I've learned a lot about the Python scripting and stuff at work, my job. So I've become way more. I've become way better at programming in the last years. Engage, yes, I think the same. I think that just buying upgrades is, I thought about, after playing Mega Man 11, I thought about having more upgrades in the shop like Mega Man 11, but I thought, since I'm designing all these stages with alternate paths and places, like secret, well, not just secrets, but nooks and crannies where I can put a lot of stuff, like why not just collect stuff in the stages instead. It's much more fun to explore when you have some cool stuff to find than just finding currency and, well, you know what I mean, right? It's not really as satisfying to, I'm gonna die, no, okay. It's not really as satisfying to buy stuff with bolts, like finding bolts is not as fun. Another thing I have no idea about yet is the story. I really want to get the game part done first, and after that think about the story. Hey, I like this song. I love this song. One of my favorite ice stage songs. I keep trying to change weapon with L1. I mean R1. R1. Yeah, for the story, I might have discussions with my friend or some people online about what we could do. I have some ideas, but nothing in the game yet. There's no cutscene, there's no intro. You just start the game and you see the title screen. Blink. No, I'm trying to be fancy here. Another thing I want to do with the overdrive system is that I want to encourage people. I want to give something to players who want to play Buster only, and give a bit of a tactical, give a bit of a tactical choice for players who want to try to be more efficient, or maybe speedrunners. Whoa. Try to make it a little bit more strategic, kind of like the speed gear and power gear. Basically, I'm trying to make the game a little bit different than usual, because I really like the gear mechanics from 11. I think it really made the game interesting, and it really gave it an identity of its own, kind of like the adapters from this game. And I didn't want to do that little jump. Well, I want to make it a bit different, but I still want to keep it, you know, still keep it simple. Oh, come on. And right in front of a one up. You know, it's that middle ground between something new and something familiar. So the challenge now is like, that's why I've already added the system so that we can test it and see what kind of tweaks we can make to it. Rock Force. Mega Man Rock Force is a game that I have mixed feelings about. I think the level design is good, but I don't really like the vibe of the game. I don't really like the... it's hard to explain. I think the game sometimes feels like it's not really a Mega Man game, with stages like Terror Man and you know, those stages that feel like Castlevania stages sometimes in theme, and some of the stages in the update, like Portman, it feels a little too puzzle oriented. Like that's an example of a stage that feels like it belongs in another game and doesn't feel like fun to replay again. That'll teach you to just ski around. I don't know. I didn't really like the serious vibe of Rock Force, particularly near the end. I know that Unlimited is pretty serious near the end, but some of the dialogue in Rock Force I didn't really like. Now I'm not saying I'm super good at writing dialogue either, but I think they changed the dialogue at the end in an update because people didn't really like how it ended. Like it was kind of a depressing ending. I mean, you know, Unlimited also has a bad ending. Also has a bit of a dark turn at the end, but in the end it does end with the traditional, the more upbeat, feel-good type of feeling in the end, you know. Whereas Rock Force ended really like, oh jeez, Mega Man's all depressed and stuff. But the game itself, hey, that was a really strong enemy, right? Not even a second. Thrillman is another one that I mean, the mechanics are original, but it almost feels too out there, you know? And I remember something that felt weird was when you're fighting on top of the train, you see people inside the train and they're... Whoa. Okay. And they're much bigger than you and you feel like... I don't know, it looked weird. But I mean, I'm nitpicking. It's the game has a lot of features. You can play as the other robot masters, which was really cool. You notice how these enemies never show up anywhere else in the game than here. Hey, maybe I could reuse these enemies. Maybe I could remake a similar enemy, because there are only 2 of them and they're here and you don't see them anywhere else. This is probably my favorite. Whoa. Not my It's either him or Centaur Man from this game. The fight is really fun for this one. When you know how he works, it's a fun fight. He never repeats the same attacks more than twice. So now he did 2 spread, he's gonna do the straight shot. Now he's gonna do the spread. It's either 1 or 2, and I got hit. Not fast enough. Oh yeah, that Mega Man 7 kill Wily thing. I think it's a mistranslation actually. Not sure he's supposed to do that, to say that. I don't know the full story behind it. I mean, I thought it was cool as a kid, but now when I see it, I think it's a little out of place. I can't believe I jumped. That jump registered. I really like the Wily machine in Mega Man 6. It's so much fun to just absolutely destroy. The song, I love the song. Jeez. In Mega Man 3, sometimes he wouldn't jump. He wouldn't shoot. Or it would jump instead of sliding. Here it doesn't jump after sliding. To cancel the slide, you have to press up and jump. Now I did it, he didn't even jump. Or, oh no, is it up? I'm not sure if that's what you have to do. Anyway, it doesn't work like the others, and it's annoying. Hey, let's do it without those enemies. The fat bird who followed the beat. By the way, since Unlimited 2 is using the same engine, it still has all of the same enemies in the game. So I could theoretically reuse the same enemies from 1 and 2. But of course I tried to avoid doing that. Some of them make a return. Like I have a pretty big library of mets to use now. I have mets from both games in one. No! Please jump. Okay, thank you. What? I could use the rewind feature, by the way, but I tried not to. You notice that when the oil is just oil, it has no hitbox, like you just walk right through it, but when it becomes fire, the fire is like solid fire. It's like spikes all of a sudden. It turns into a solid collision. Ah, I'm a little too far. I was a little disappointed in some of these bosses. I mean, what they do. Like I don't know, Flame Man could have done something more than just these horizontal flames and some fire towers, you know? Could have had something more. And Plant Man is the one who is like, really? You just have like, you're just gonna have some petals around you and that's it? Some shield that could be just anything. No plants coming out of the ground or something. I don't know, petals falling from the ceiling. Something. Instead it's just like, oh, I'm gonna turn on the shield and throw the shield. In the arcade game, which is gonna come out in a collection soon, by the way, Plant Man did more stuff. He had like vines and stuff. Jeez. Good night, Matt. I'm gonna go too soon. I'm not gonna beat the game in the end. But I want to try and do some more streaming in the next couple days for the anniversary and maybe show a little bit more of the game next time maybe. It's just I'm always hesitant to do a stream with the game and showing code and stuff because I know I think it's just boring to watch somebody code and test the same thing over and over again. But I mean, I don't know, tell me if you think that's boring or not. There's an easier way of doing this, but I never remember it. I really like Mr. X song. I didn't like it back then, but now I like it. Oh really? How's it going, Corrupted? Is it close to done? Man, how long has it been? It's like, whoa, jumping in spike. Okay, cool. How long has it been? Like, what, 15 years? More than that? Personally, I'm not too much into Metroidvanias for Mega Man. I'm hoping it's gonna prove me wrong. I mean, all of the Metroidvania stuff, when it was applied to Mega Man, it didn't really work that well. Oh, God. Like, Mega Man ZX was not very good. The map was stupid, and ZX Advent was a better game, but the Metroidvania kind of hurt. Like Mega Man is not made to be like Castle. Like Metroid. And I've never thought the idea of going backwards in the Mega Man stage was really fun. But I mean, maybe you can make it fun in that case. You know, when I beat the boss, I want to just leave the stage and go to the next stage. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a fan of the stage select screen. I want to select a stage and get to the fun part right away. I don't want to have to think how I'm gonna go there, how I'm gonna go where I'm supposed to go, and I don't want to have to go back through the same stage I've played to get somewhere, you know? I don't want to waste my time figuring out where to go, and that kind of I don't want to. If I want to play Metroid, I'm gonna play Metroid, you know. That's what I mean, basically. Because you know, in ZX or 01, you beat the, well, no, not zero. They quickly removed the Metroid kind of stuff because they realized it didn't really make sense. But whenever you have to go somewhere in Mega Man ZX, you have to go through a bunch of empty rooms and back through doors you've already been through, and beating the same enemies over and over again just to get to where you need to go. I mean, that's not what Mega Man is about to me. But I don't know, maybe they will do it better than we've seen before. Maybe it'll make total sense. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe it'll be super cool. Probably some people will like it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Here comes the best enemy, the best boss ever made. One of the reasons why ZX sucks is because the map is completely broken. Well, not broken, it's just, it doesn't make sense. It's like the worst map ever made. It doesn't tell you anything you need to know. It's like it does the complete opposite of what it should do, which is telling you where to go. But even if the map made sense, you would still have to do the stupid backtracking and go through empty boss rooms and corridors with boss doors just to and you have to figure out where to go just to progress. For the X games, I mean, I know that X5 and 6 and 7 and 8 had their problems, but I still like them. I think the worst one is 7 by far. I mean, 6 is not good, but it's still playable, and it still has the core mechanics that make a Mega Man game fun. 7 is just boring and unfinished. Well, I mean, 6 is not really finished either, but it's more finished than 7. 7 is a complete mess. It's not even functional. Like, the everything in X7 feels unfinished. Like the mechanics, the graphics, the effects, the voices are bad. Well, in English, I mean, in Japanese, not too bad. But everything feels unpolished. It feels like they didn't really know what to do, and then at the last minute they realized that, oh, we need to deliver the game. Alright, we'll just take whatever we did that was not too bad and just put it together. Because I remember seeing a lot of scenes in trailers and screenshots from X7 that didn't really end up in the game at all. Like, I remember seeing scenes in the virtual reality level, like the one with Snipe Anteater. I remember seeing scenes where you walk upside down around the cylinder. I mean, more than what we have in the final game. Some sections that, oh crap, I thought I had I had equipped the jet one. I'm gonna go beat Mr. X, and after that I'm gonna end the stream. I was inside the platform. X6, that's why I've been messing around so much with the X6 improvement hack. Was it called improvement? I don't remember the name, but basically that's a hack that you can use to customize the game, make it better. It improves so much, but it still has a fundamental core problem that you can't really fix with a hack. It's the level design itself that needs fixing. Need to change the layout of the levels, where the enemies are, all that stuff. You can't just fix the mechanics like the hacks, like the hack does. There's more to do to fix it, but I guess it's a love-hate relationship. I really like X6, but I hate it at the same time. I really want it to be good, because it had some pretty kick-ass ideas. It's just that they are not... It feels like the level designers were beginners, and or they were not given the time to refine and polish the stages. Because X6 came out like barely a year after X5. I was surprised it was already coming out. Even when I was younger, I was surprised that it was already coming out. I mean, give them... If they would have given them maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 more months, it would have been way better. Like X6, it still has the... Like, you still have to freaking aim to kill enemies. That, like, this, jumping and shooting, jumping and... Oh, here I have to shoot at the apex of my jump to hit that cannon. It's what's fun about Mega Man games. You have to aim to hit enemies. In X7, you don't even have to do that. You just press the button and it will aim on its own. It's boring. Not to mention the mechanics are barely functional. Just climbing a wall in X7, the character can barely climb. It feels like sometimes it feels like he's sticking too much to the wall. Sometimes it feels like he doesn't stick, it just falls off, or it just jitters in place on the wall. Ugh! I saw my life flashing before my eyes. I was looking at the chat. Another one that I feel needed some improvement is X5. X5, I was disappointed back then. They should have had like one kick-ass story without the branching path, but have it animated like X4 with anime cutscenes instead of having like sliding pictures and text. People don't like the randomness of the story anyway. And the level design is still a problem in X5. It feels like there's not enough room to move around. But I still like the designs. I still like those games, even if they're very flawed. Probably the nostalgia and the fandom it's like I found out that I can, like, I used to watch wrestling around the 2000s, and I found out that I can download these episodes of the WWE, and I'm not really interested in downloading the ones that I didn't grow up with, because I don't really have an attachment to it. You know, Engage, they made the first person Mega Man X game. Oh, it's game over. Oh god. They actually made they were making a first person X game like Metroid Prime, and they redesigned X to be like this really detailed, badass, serious robot, like a transformer, or like really detailed, with detailed parts and stuff, not anime at all. But they cancelled that. If you search around the internet, you can find some screenshots and videos. You'd be surprised how many things that you would be interested in have been cancelled. Don't you think that the knockback in 3, 4, 5, 6 is not as far as 2 and 1 and 2? When you get hit, you're not getting knocked back as far. I haven't really compared the distances, but it does feel less far. I don't feel like dealing with you guys. Really? Oh, no. It's like down in the hole. See, the difficulty here is that the horizontal shot is just enough that you have trouble jumping over it and avoid the pendulum at the same time. The timing is just a little bit off, that it will not be always the same timing. And why didn't he jump? Oh right, that's because it's 6. I like how Capcom tries different things. It's just sometimes their ideas are not all good. Devil May Cry. DMC Devil May Cry. Or Resident Evil 6. But they do try different things. It's just that it's incredibly difficult to please everyone. My plan for world domination has failed, but I still have enough power to enjoy you. I've applied with the Capcom Creator Club, and they didn't. They rejected me. Guess I'm not popular enough. It's funny, it's called Creator Club. Because, I don't know, I've created a lot of stuff for Mega Man. And that's still, they still didn't take me. I guess, I think it's not about creating, it's about being popular so they can make marketing from you. But wait, I want that sunglass. Why don't I get to wear sunglasses? Oh, I bet that Wesker throwing his sunglasses in Resident Evil 5 is inspired by Mr. X throwing his sunglasses. That's where it came from, yeah. Obviously. Mr. X is the original Wesker. Do you like this Wily song? It's pretty depressing. I missed it. Hey, you. You still got me. I like to like this. How well placed is this guy? He's like, he's got his back to you, turned away from you. Well, he's turned away from you. So what's the deal? It's like you're Solid Snake. You're sneaking around the castle and you're surprising him from behind. This spot is specifically made for the jet. Like this guy is like, is it because they forgot to make the enemy face left? Because I do that sometimes. Sometimes when I place enemies, I forget to make them face the right direction. But it's, you know, a mistake and I fix it. But here, like, did they forget? Did they not have time? Funny thing about this boss, you can actually send his platforms back to him by punching them. Like this. But it doesn't do as much damage. It's just 1 damage. Oh jeez. And there's a thing about this boss too, it's always the same pattern. You can go up there and shoot him without getting hit if you wait for the right opportunity. Four fireballs go up there. Come on. Die. Well, I think I might actually end up beating the game. Oh, you have the rematch. How many tanks do I have? 7. I was disappointed in this Wiley song back then. I was expecting an epic song like in 5 or 4 or 3 or 2. But you know, it was pretty slow. Whoops. F-Blast. Why? I should watch what the blocks do. Okay. It's the only screen in the game with disappearing blocks. You're looking at the most powerful weapon in this game. Well, one of the most powerful weapons in this game. Sunglasses! If I'm not gonna wear sunglasses, nobody will. Yeah, Flame Blast is underwhelming because it makes the same sound as the Buster, like Brit, and then you fire the Fire Blast, Flame Blast, and it's still Brit, and it doesn't do the when it lands. Very small flame, same sound as the Buster, the normal Buster. It's pretty underwhelming. Yeah, it's the bowling ball cannon. Here it comes! Oh no! What's the weakness of this guy? Is it Knight? No. I never remember. Because I barely use the weakness of flame. I mean wind. Yeah, the wily bosses in this game are... I love the design of this castle, by the way. I love it. Japanese design. Or Chinese, or whatever. The type of architecture. Love it. But the stages... the bosses are not very good. They feel pretty... uninspired. I like this part with the water and the new enemies we've never seen before, those fans, and I'm actually gonna die there. Oh, they put it way down there. Okay. Let's do it. we're at the end. There's no boss in this stage as well. It's kind of like Mega Man 11. I'm stupid. Game over. Ah, no, I'm not. Not redoing that. I want to go to bed. Hey, come on. Really now? Come on! Jeez. Those are all jumps I could have easily done, but somehow I got hit. Because probably because I'm tired. Oh, I thought it was going through his shield. Man, wouldn't that have been really pathetic? Yeah, normally I would try to avoid using the rewind. Why do we say rewind? It's wind. Anyway, because I'm tired now, I want to end this. And I know that I'm game over if I fail, so... That was pathetic. Anteater, thank you. It's true, I have improved. I've drawn a lot over the last couple of years, and it shows. And I love Clip Studio Paint instead of Photoshop. I can make perfect lines way easier. How come I don't have see flash anymore? Did you know that if you keep shooting him while he's sucking you toward him, that the force will be stronger and stronger? Like if you keep shooting him, you won't be able to fight the wind. This guy is like easier without the weakness. If you don't want to get hit. If you could slide, that would be great. Come on. It's the Flame Man. Like, what's the point of the boss rematches if there's no boss after it? Like, it's just a formality at this point. I like that instead of bouncing off screen, the flame blast just changes direction and hits the ground after that and keeps doing what it's supposed to do. Like instead of flying off to the moon, it just goes the other way. What could be inside this teleporter? Nothing. Greek mythology is the weakness of weather forecasts. But I like that when you enter the stage, you do it through the teleporter. That's cool. That's a nice little detail. To me, the weakness don't really have to make that much sense personally. I like when the weakness is kind of a guess and it's not completely obvious, because it's makes you, I don't know, I guess you have to go you have to try different stuff. I don't really agree. No, it's cool when it makes sense as well. It's just I like both. The weaknesses in Mega Man 11 were great. But for the weaknesses in Unlimited, I tried to make it more make sense with the gameplay of it than the concept. Now we completely wreck the machine. Are you ready? And I don't have enough silver tea. And don't want to be rude, Wiley, but your machine was pretty bad. I mean, it's really fun to fight, but it pretty much sucked. Dr. Wally behind you. Capcom times. Telephone's ringing. Would you please answer it? Yeah, that Wily machine. I mean, the design is great. I love the design. But it's too weak to its weakness. And the weakness is basically just more damage. It doesn't really... I mean, it does make sense. It's the arcing up, the weapon that arcs upward. But it's a little too... It's over too quickly when you use the weakness. It should be a little more challenging than that. It's pretty much this game's... It's pretty much my problem with this game. It's a little too easy. I wonder how, like, there's an invisible Mega Man somewhere in this room. Like, Flame Man turns around. Oh, now Mega Man is to the right side. Oh, it turns to the other side. Hello, demented goat cheese. Thank you. I want to do some more streaming in the next few days and maybe show a little more of the Unlimited 2 game for those who are interested. It just depends on, you know, how the day went, if I'm tired or not. I kind of kicked myself in the ass a little bit tonight to be able to do it. It's just the only time I have is at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, so often I'm really, really tired and I don't feel like talking to anybody. But, you know, I want to try and do it more often, especially for this anniversary. Yeah, it's been a long time. Thank you, Eric. I've Demented, I've been listening to Kevin's old music from those days. It's a blast from the past. Which reminds me, I still don't have music for the game. At some point, whenever I think I can finish it, I want to ask someone to do the music. We'll see. I just don't want to waste people's time until, like, I want to make sure I can actually finish the game before I ask somebody to take time to make music. Especially since, you know, I would have to be able to compensate them in some way. I don't want to give nothing, and I don't think I'm ready to do more music by myself. Making a game is probably the longest thing. That takes the longest time, because it's a combination of visuals, sound, music, and the player who can break everything. That's why it takes so long. And then we're stuck here and we're going back. All right. It's actually the first time I beat this game in the Steam version. Maybe I could try to do my no miss, no damage buster only runs in Mega Man 1. I did Fireman and got, I did Fireman and Iceman. If you want to see on my channel, I have the videos to prove it. I still have the 4 other ones to do. Anyway. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll try to do it in the next few days. Again, thanks for watching, and good night.